now. Go to the window, open it, stick your head out and yell, "Hated man! Top of the world!"
The voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been anything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality.
Hello, welcome to a Wednesday edition of The Voice of Ocala. Buddy Martin along with Tom Schmitz, Austin, A-Man, Statman, Tatman. He got so many names on a terrific-looking day outside and terrific lineup of guests today. We're going to bring you here in the next 3 hours. Mark Emery joins us in just a moment. Kate Main from Ocala Eye, except she's a hearing specialist, will be at 4 o'clock. And during the sports hour, Bob Herrig of ESPN weighing in on the Tiger injury and the upcoming Masters, along at 5:30 with Roger Mooney from the Tampa Tribune, who'll talk about the Rays, who lost yesterday after the opening day win with David Price. Right now, it's my pleasure to welcome back to the microphones one of the hardest working men in show business that I know, Mark Emery. Hey, Mark.
How's it going, buddy?
You look like you might have a few miles on you these last couple of days.
We've been trying to be 3 or 4 people at the same time. I'm going to start talking about myself in the third person because I'm not sure where I'm at.
And you thought it was tough out in the woods.
That's why I stay out there.
Well, thanks for all that you do for the community and all the hard work you put in on this film festival, which I think we're all kind of blind at right now. A lot of great people giving a great deal of talent and time. And I said yesterday on the program downtown, we did live in front of the Marion, that if you took a checkbook and you went around and you tried to wave checks in front of people to get this, they'd say, no way. Yeah. You wave a $10,000 check or something. I wouldn't do that for $10,000, but you do it because you care about it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, town means so much to all of us. We all grew up here and have a lot of great memories and a lot of great friends, and you want to share all that with them. So.
You think people get sick and tired of us talking about Ocala the way it was?
I still like some of the things that are still here. I really do. There's a lot of great things here. Yeah.
Well, catch us up a little bit. You didn't bring Mary today.
I did not. Yeah, she's
man,
still.
You got my hopes all up.
I know.
I was going to say the brains and the beauty at one time, and now, but glad you could make it. And let's just, before we take a quick break, let's just catch up. For those who don't know Mark, I can't imagine how many there would be, but Mark, of course, 2-time Emmy Award winner, does great work for National Geo. He's done some terrific films on nature and other things, and he is heavily involved in this film festival, Silver Springs International Film Festival. And as soon as that's over, probably about a month later, he's off to Alaska again, up there. What's the name of that town again?
King Salmon.
King Salmon. How could I forget
Named
that?
After a fish.
As you do every year, go up there. And Mary works there, and you do some guiding for a few people, and you do some shooting for National Geo. Have I got it right so far?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So this is kind of a ideal job for somebody who likes to get out of the hot summers in Ocala.
It's one of those people my age. I'll turn 60 this year, and they say, what are you going to do when you retire? Well, I'm fishing part of the year for salmon in Alaska. I'm filming for National Geographic in lots of different locations, and I'm writing music the rest of the time.
I forgot that part.
What am I going to retire to? That's what I'm going to do So there is no retirement. We're just going to keep walking around doing this until we fall down. So
just like there's no crying in baseball, there's no retirement in Mark Emery. That's for sure.
Hopefully not.
Well, that sounds good. Because I'm the same way with you. I wouldn't do anything else different if I was 100 years old. If I could do it, I'd keep doing it. As long as people let me in, don't lock me out, I'd be here doing it. Yeah. Mark, I know you've had a lot of things lately. Tell me about some of the latest work on TV, and for those who don't get a chance to see all the National Geo stuff, whatever, about what you've been doing the last year and what pieces you've been working on.
There's several out right now. There's one called North America. Tom Selleck's doing the narration on that, and it was a $25 million piece over 5 years they shot all over North America. And I had the producer come down. He was one of the producers on Planet Earth. We went to 30 countries and whatnot, and he came here and looked around and went, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And so we spent 24 days here filming, and there's 2 segments in the show. There's only one, I think there's only one location that's in 2 parts of the show. It was that big a deal for them to find this. And so that's airing on Animal Planet, but it was on Discovery Maine for a couple of times, and then they put it out to Animal Planet. So that one you can still check in DVR. There'll be 2 new ones coming out that I've been working on for the last a year and a half or so. We started March last year on 2 for Nat Geo Wild, and they just got edited, and they'll be out here probably in another 2 months or so. And they're called Wild Florida and Wild Coasts, and they're all Florida, and a good 40 or 50% of it's right here, maybe even more in Marion County. So we've got a lot of stuff showing right now. Both of those programs were shot Silver Springs, Ocala, ranches around here, Ocala National Forest, Paynes Prairie, all those kind of places. So.
Well, you know that territory quite well, I know. I didn't ever ask you this before, but what is your favorite critter to shoot with a camera?
Whatever's in front of me. I like all of them. We get out and mess with little tiny lizards sometimes, and I'm just happy as a clam at high tide right there. So I like all of them. What you really end up doing is learning behavior on animals and how they all act, and that's what's fascinating.
Well, and when you were a young kid running around the Drake Ranch, taking pictures with your brownie Hawkeye, whatever you're doing, of those lizards and stuff, little did you know you'd be doing this for a living, huh?
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Your favorite spots in Marion County?
Well, I'm a big proponent of the big cattle ranches simply because they have wildlife on cattle ranches that are not even easily seen in other places. So most of those are private, and I grew up here, so I have friends on those ranches. And I would say for the public, and it's as good as any other place I go, is Paynes Prairie. I mean, there's just an amazing amount of wildlife. You have bison. You have 30 or 40 head of bison. They've moved them around a little bit from time to time. Horses, wild horses from the Cracker Horses days. And then you have, of course, alligators in good quantities. We've counted 70 in a day or 80 in a day. They have had as many as 700 in one area that were there. And if you see the Chomp film for the Gator games, that's where we filmed it. A lot of it was at Paynes Prairie. So it's a great location. Yeah.
And do you remember the flood of 20-some years ago? I've never seen anything like it in all these lives in Florida. Yeah. Driving down across Paynes Prairie, I bet you one day I could have counted 50 gators on the side.
And some were in the middle of the road after a couple of days there. The road flooded, and they were all up in the road. So you could pull up to a 12-footer with your vehicle and have a look if you wanted to. Never
saw that before, never seen it since.
No, same here. And then a couple of years ago, it was as dry as it ever had been, and there was a biologist who counted 719 or whatever it was, alligators in one big long ditch on Chafalaya Trail there. So it goes up and down, and that's the dynamics of a Florida swamp, and that's really what you want. That keeps things changing back and forth and helps things out.
Maybe we come back, you could kind of give us a few hints about how to be around animals. I mean, there's people have some misconceptions. Yeah. I know you're comfortable swimming with sharks or whatever you got to do. You're up in the gators, you're in these gator dens and all that stuff. And I mean, most people would know what they're 909 out of 100 to say no way, and yet you have an ability to go in there and do this. I want you, when we come back, to explain to people the demeanor you have to have, whether it's like trying to be like the animal or whatever, and what we've talked about this some with deer in the past about what you've done. Just kind of explain to us mere mortal humans how we're supposed to act around these animals, would you?
Okay.
Mark Hembree's with us, two-time Emmy winner, and hard at work on the Silver Springs International Film Festival, which opens tomorrow. It's going to be a great 4 days. We'll take a break. We'll return to the Voice of Ocala after this timeout on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
Chief Ray, I'd like to get you and the sheriff to talk about how these cases come to you and how you find them out. And also, if you know of something and you're pretty sure something's going wrong, how to report it.
Yeah, they come in all different kinds of ways. A lot of them come through the school system. Where teachers will notice behavioral changes in the kids, so they'll talk to them. Sometimes we'll get the reports from neighbors. Sometimes we get them from people in the community that see them at the mall and see the kids being abused out in the open, and they'll call us. So there's no real one way that we hear about it.
That was a reprise of Ask the Cops, proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, attorney fighting for accident victims' justice since 1976, and can be heard the second and fourth Friday of every month on the Voice of Ocala.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
This is Austin Tavern reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622-9622.
Hi, I'm Angie Lewis. Let's talk every Tuesday afternoon on WOCA, the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Laura Scherler and Mike Wade. They're coming on to tell us how to get the most out of filing your tax return.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
And it's Thursday. Hank Whittier will be on the air bringing you veterans news as he does each and every Thursday.
Margaret Gray is the Associate Professor of Political Science at Adelphi University. She's written a book called Labor and the Locavore, the Making of a Comprehensive Food Ethic.
And then Jim Beckett will be on the air with us, educating us about the game of golf on his show, Let's Talk Golf.
Andrew Abella is the Dean of the School of Business and Economics at the Catholic University of America. He's written a book called A Catechism for Business, Tough Ethical Questions and Insights from Catholic Teaching.
And then Suzanne Santangelo, Leah Caruso, and Brittany Marthaler will be on the air from Ocala Health Services, educating us about our health. All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on the Source WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Hi, this is Jody Saulnier. Jeff and I are the owners of J&J Jewelers in the Jasmine Plaza, which is located at the intersection of State Road 200 and Airport Road.
We're third-generation jewelers, voted Ocala's favorite jewelry store for the last 5 years.
We carry a wide selection of new and estate jewelry, bridal sets, and citizen watches. J&J Jewelers specialize in jewelry repair and custom-designed jewelry, including wedding sets.
All of our repairs are done on site and can even be done by appointment while you wait. J&J Jewelers is open Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 10 to 2, and closed on Sunday and Monday.
Stop by today or visit our website at jandjjewelersocala.com or call 352-401-0001. You will remember our custom design made for you by us at J&J Jewelers. Proud to be made in America.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA News Center with this news break brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. By voting unanimously on Tuesday to end the city's purchase and sale agreement with Ocala Trophy Limited, which owned the land where a new stadium was to be built for the Ocala Yankees to play, the Ocala City Council turned off the lights on the ballpark. FSL Bomber Baseball LLC was negotiated with the city to move the farm team from Tampa to Ocala. The city providing a new stadium was part of the deal. The city council voted unanimously Tuesday to end the city's purchase and sale agreement. The city will pay Ocala Trophy Limited $20,000 for the land option that expires Wednesday, the same date the agreement with FSL Bomber Baseball ends. This news break was brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. Join Angie weekly for her Biz Buzz, her Good Neighbor Award.
But I can try for your heart and our dreams, and they are made out of real things, like a shoebox of photographs with sepia tone.
Back with Mark Embry. This is going to be a fake or a factoid later on. You won't be here, but I want you just I'll give these boys a hint because they need a little help. What color is polar bear's fur?
Well, it's a trick question.
It is. So you know the answer, but
yeah, so I won't tell.
So don't tell.
Okay.
You think it's one color, but
yes.
really it's something else.
Exactly.
So that's one of our fake or factoids. That's a Mark Embry special.
So when it says polar bear's fur is white, we know it's now fake.
There you go. Well, that's not the question. There you go. That's not the question. You think you know it. We'll see. Mark, we just left. We talked about animals, and we just talked about, the demeanor. And I know you've been around a lot of animals, and you know kind of how to act around them. The average person, there's some do's and don'ts. Like, don't feed alligators.
Right.
I mean,
any animal really feeding a.
What about birds though?
Well, birds, in a lot of cases, you're not habituating the bird. You're not out there standing there holding the food in your hand.
Right.
But you're meeting a possum or a raccoon at your back porch. That's a different deal. So now you've taken away whatever fear of people you have. So we might not ever bother you, but he might mess with a young child that's wandering around the backyard and get bit or something like that. So you don't want that. And in the case of bird seed, we're going to find out more and more that in Alaska, they actually put ads on TV when to stop putting out bird seed, because the bears will come in and get your bird seed. Ocala National Forest, it's already showing up. Bears will go by and rip off a bird. Well, he's going to come back every night. And when it's not there, what have you got in your backyard? You got a grumpy bear. So you have to figure out what you're going to do with that one. But as far as behavior in general, that's the thing that really, as far as most of us that film wildlife, that's where we really have to concentrate and really learn what we're doing. We have to have that animal with the light behind him and all these other things, but we also have to get behavior. And so how do you, in 30 to 60 days, come up with an hour-long show that no one's ever seen before, and it's all full of behavior no one's seen before? It's not that easy. And so what we do is study when animals do what they do, and how the timing of all that. And so we do study them a lot, and so we do get into situations that most people wouldn't get into. I know there's a crawl down an alligator den, and there's 6 adult alligators at the bottom of the den. Well, this sounds ridiculous.
It does, Mark.
And actually what happened is I got ticks on me and almost died from Lyme disease, and the gators didn't bother me at all. What happens on a lot of these animals is if they're cold-blooded like alligators, they're temperature dependent. So when the water gets cold or the air gets cold, they go, sleepy slow. In the case of other animals, you've got very, very bright animals, so you have to be very careful around. Of course, bears, black bears and grizzly bears are very bright. They're just probably in the same league with chimpanzees. That's
really?
How smart they are. They can figure out anything, and you're going to see more and more of these. But you go online and start looking at even Floridians who put out corn for deer, and you'll see a bear, walking tight-roping all the way out across an aircraft cable and getting down it and breaking the 55-gallon drum that all the corn is in. Not a big deal at all. He sorted that out the first trip out there. So you have to, when you see those kind of animals, do not push your child in front of them and try to take a picture. We don't operate like that. I don't know why anybody else would, and we do it for a living. What you'd want to do on any large animal is always make sure they have a way out. If they're on your beach and he's walking along the beach, just stay up on the hill by your house and take your picture or whatever you want to do. There's actually been bears sighted on Lake Weir walking around. In the case of rattlesnakes and things like that, just stay back. They have a real limited strike range. Rattlesnake 6 foot long can only strike 3 feet, about half his body length. So, if you're panicked and you're 25 feet away, you don't need to be, and you don't have to do that to your children to get them all panicked about snakes. Plenty of distance. Take your time when you're moving around them. A lot of animals see motion very well, but they don't really see particularly well. So you can flag your hands, an animal flip out and run away that you might want to look at. A deer, for instance, hands are big white flags in our case, and they're just going lop, lop, lop. And if you're talking or explaining, showing your child something, that animal's going to leave the area. So if you want to take a little longer look at him, don't point and don't make a lot of motion with your body. Just be real calm and take your time.
I read something on bullfighters and bulls, that the cape is red, but not because the bulls see it. They don't see any colors. Right. It's just the color of blood, so it doesn't show. But they look at the hands and the motion,
absolutely,
as opposed to the color.
Yeah.
What about this? What about the wives' tale of dog days about snakes being blind? Is that a wives' tale?
No, there are days when snakes are blind, but none of them all at the same time. What's happening is as they feed and they get larger, they have to get out of their skin. You'll see snake sheds in Florida woods pretty regularly here, and when he's shedding, just before he sheds, his eyes will glaze up blue, and you can look at it. And the only bite I got by a rattlesnake that was a decent bite was by a snake that was shedding, and he was wet, and so I picked him up and he just twisted into his skin and went doop and bit me. You don't hold them really, really hard. If you do, they'll just start struggling like crazy, and you put him up underneath your arm and you just went droop and bam. And I just didn't look at his eyes. And the eyes, when they're glazed blue like that, they have very poor vision, but their skin is starting to slough off.
Let me get this right. He's been in an alligator den with a bunch of alligators. He's gotten bitten by a snake while he was holding it. He's had gasoline poured on him in a plane that was upside down. I'm scared just for him, buddy.
No. This is scattered events over your life. You know, I mean, you probably had a near miss with a Texter in an SUV this morning on the way to work and didn't even think much about it.
What about? I know you're not a thrill seeker. I understand.
No, I'm not.
But you are a bit of an adventurer.
Well, don't hang around the house.
I mean, I look at you. I visited with Don Garlitz. Have you read Don Garlitz? What a
great man,
fascinating
great man.
person.
Yeah, he really is.
And he's had more close calls. I mean, I talked
probably
to him
more than I have, I'm sure.
More than you've had,
yeah.
amazingly.
Yeah.
But somehow he gets past that, just like you do. You guys are wired differently somehow or another, because danger to you is not danger. It's not as it is to us. We're scared to death of it. We go to pieces. Somehow you guys are wired differently.
I don't really know how to respond to that, other than that you know, we are in situations a lot. In his case, I would, you know, running around a track like they do, or doing what he's doing, the type of, I think he was a straight
drag racer, 323 miles an hour.
Just blowing up, and they're basically got a jet on the back of your, that's a whole different deal. Every time you
it's still threatening. I mean,
oh, absolutely. No, I think that's crazy. I wouldn't do that.
I bet you Don Garlitz would go down an alley there. So there you go. Let's talk for the remaining minutes about the Silver Springs International Film Festival.
Yes,
just
sir.
To you personally, what does this mean to you, and what does it mean to our community in your eyes?
We travel, Mary and I, every other year, several thousand miles out to Jackson Hole to go to a film festival. And we've got one now coming to our backyard. When we go out there, I can see the folks who are head of National Geographic, BBC, Discovery. I can get all my shopping done right there. I can find out what they're buying, what they're selling, and I can market myself to them. For young people that are in that industry here in Florida, they can now come to Ocala when these people are here. There's going to be a great collection of people here from Manhattan Film Institute. There'll be people from Hollywood. There'll be all kinds of folks that they can, you know, network with and possibly find work, or at least understand how this all works. The great thing for the town is that I just talked to Lori, and the hotels are booked up. They're just going crazy. They're slamming up with new people coming in. That's great news. Stella's across the street. She's doing a banner business right now. Lots of different things are being affected. We're putting up 30 or 40 prints in the brick, and so we'll be selling prints. Hope that goes well. Lots of different layers of things for folks all around town. Then the great things for people who would usually go to Orlando or to Jacksonville to see something is what tomorrow night we can walk in with your best clothes on, and you won't be embarrassed. There'll be some pretty fancy people there.
John Travolta, Kelly Preston,
and his wife, yeah, and who knows who all else. So lots of interesting things, and you get to see some great films right in your backyard.
Yeah, and now there's this. We got about a minute, but we got these salons, which I think are terrific. You're on them,
yes, sir,
with other people. Talk about who these people will be, and students can come free.
Yes, it's amazing. If you're a student and you don't go, it's your fault. This is a great event for you. Here are seminars that are free with some of the best folks in the industry. And there's camera folks for Hollywood types. There's all kinds of folks on my particular committee. The guy who I've been working with for years, Parker Bauer. His dad wrote 52 books, 2,200 articles. There was times he was writing all of outdoor life under pseudonyms. He's just remarkable. His son is no different. Parker has now edited probably 500 to 800 television shows, and has worked with he wrote for Rod Serling, who's also a writer.
Twilight Zone.
And for NASA, for many, many films, for IMAX and everything like that. He'll be with us. And then Tracy Collins, I worked with Tracy for 25 years writing soundtrack music. We've written over 300 television shows together. Great arranger, great writer, and has invented all kinds of things for the internet on how to play guitars on your keyboard at the house. So there's be some interesting people. I know it just in my clinic alone, and then one of the cameramen from Full Sail, who's been all over and decided to slow down and be with his family some. He'll be there as well to talk about the camera end for industrial type camera shooting or Hollywood type camera shooting. And of course, I'll be talking about wildlife myself.
You know, in the 30 seconds we got, Ocala's got quite a film history. We talked about that, but one thing I don't think we mentioned is, in terms of wildlife and animals, that the people who wrote Flipper were from Ocala. Jack Cowden, who was a friend of mine, who worked at WOP, and Rico Browning, and
Yes,
you
sir.
know, of
Yep.
course, they put together the concept, and they're the ones who launched Flipper, one of the most successful series on animals ever in television.
Absolutely, and Jordan Klein, of course, filmed
Jordan
it.
Klein, yeah.
he shot it. So great people, and that's who I learned under is Jordan and his son Jordy for 19 years. I worked for them off and on, just filming everything from Ford commercials to going out and doing shark shows for Discovery Channel. So we had a great time with
So
it.
one of the things we're going to do is pass the torch on. The legacy
Yes, sir.
lives, so people can step up.
Well, that's the other thing is that kids nowadays in the United States have a real trouble finding a mentor system to get into to learn how to do this. And in England, they bring them right up through the BBC, and the government funds them $35 million a year. So different deal. This is a place you can come learn some of this on your own.
It's going to be awesome. Again, Silver Springs International Film Festival. Mark will be there. I'll be lurking around somewhere in the background. It starts tomorrow night downtown with the dinner. You can get your tickets online, springsfilmfest.com. I hear the music. We're out of time. Thanks so much for coming in.
It's only a pleasure.
For all you're doing. Appreciate it. Mark Embry.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
See you
it.
later tomorrow.
You bet.
All right. We'll take a break. Come back. Got a few interesting stories here you might want to know about. One of them, a woman who got her license back after running over 3 people in Kellam. Coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
WOCA, The Source.
That boom, 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 and boom, boom. Yo, I got that hit to beat the block. You can get that bass on, but
You know, Austin, I'm sitting here at the computer looking at our Facebook page, and boy, we really need to tell more listeners about our Facebook page.
No, Tom. So you got it all wrong. Twitter is the new age.
What's a tweeter?
No, a Twitter, Tom. The Voice of Ocala has a Twitter.
We do? Well, how do we tell our listeners about that?
All they have to do is get the Twitter app or go to twitter.com, type in Voice of Ocala in the search box, and click follow.
All right, well, what's the tweeter do?
The Voice of Ocala's Twitter page updates all of its followers on the latest news, guests, giveaways, and contests.
Oh, okay. But couldn't listeners just tune in weekdays from 3 to 6 to 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, or even go to online at WOCA.com? Wouldn't that be easier?
Yeah, okay, maybe.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget, owner of the brand new Proper Tees Salon. It's a perfect time to freshen up your cut and color for the new year. And if you really want to change up your look, talk to us about Hotheads extensions for extra volume and length. How about a blowout for date night? Give us a call. Enjoy some me time while you relax in our newly renovated salon and check in on Facebook using our free Wi-Fi. We know you'll be happy with your new look. We guarantee it. Our style guarantee assures you that no matter what, you will love your hair or we will fix it for free. Call for your appointment today, 352-351-1771. We're located in downtown Ocala next to the Southside Deli. Tell us Buddy sent you for 20% off your first service visit. Now hiring licensed cosmetologists, nail techs, and front desk staff. Visit our website, thepropertees.com, for our online application. The Proper Tees Salon, timeless elegance meets classic style.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The head of General Motors wraps up another day of testimony in a hearing on a defect linked to 13 deaths.
Senator Claire McCaskill says she's concerned about how many confidential settlements GM has made in connection with its ignition switch problem.
How much whack-a-mole has been going on in terms of trying to deal with these lawsuits on a one-off basis?
GM CEO Mary Barra apologized and says a lawyer they've hired to conduct an internal review tells her that he is well along in his investigation.
Fox Radio's Jennifer Kuiper, 29 confirmed deaths in the Washington state mudslide.
Most have been identified, but it's taking time. Given the force of the slide, identification has been difficult in some cases.
Fox Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. And the FDA approving a first an under-the-tongue pill to treat hay fever caused by certain grass pollens. Agency calling it an alternative to shots, but patients need to start taking it 4 months before the season starts. Fox News, we report, you decide.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comments and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
Weeknights, we're busting out a brand new lineup. First, market fraud, government abuse, corruption. At 5, nothing's off limits on money with Melissa Francis. Then, from bloated bank fees to consumer scams. At 6, Jerry's exposing the issues impacting your wallet. Plus, get smart market insight and trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. At 7, Lou Dobbs is all business. And the first and last name in business, Cavuto, shedding light on the biggest stories making headlines at 8. Only on the Fox Business.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Uh-oh.
Is that what I thought it was?
As long as you don't think it was me running over a sprinkler head, then no, it wasn't.
Oh, brother.
Don't worry about it. I'll just add it to the honey-do list.
If you had signed up for Mike Scott Plumbing's irrigation package in the first place, you wouldn't have to do anything.
What? Mike Scott Plumbing does irrigation too?
Yeah. I told you they have packages where they take care of everything.
Yeah, but I broke it, so they're not going to cover that.
But with their annual irrigation maintenance plans, you never have to pay for another service charge or broken sprinkler head ever again, regardless of the fault.
So that means I break it, they fix it.
That's what I said, Mr. Genius.
Okay, you win. How do I sign up?
I thought you'd never ask. Call Mike Scott Plumbing today and ask about their irrigation maintenance plans. 237-2888. That's 237-2888.
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. Your heating and air conditioning unit sure will get a workout this season, and you need to make sure it's in tip-top condition. Let Air Ducts Heating and Air give you that peace of mind by knowing your unit will work at its optimum efficiency, saving you time and money. Air Ducts is a full HVAC residential and commercial company. Air Ducts is family-owned and operated, so we treat you the way we want to be treated. Air Ducts also offers discounts for builders and commercial applications, so give us a call today, 352-304-6766. That number again, 352-304-6766. Air Ducts Heating and Air Conditioning.
She loves when we go to the river and get in the water, and buddy, she's hotter than South Georgia in July. And when I'm with her, I can't get enough of her. I gotta kiss her and I gotta hug her.
Back on the Voice of Ocala. Yeah, we get some interesting guests here on this program, and Mark Emery is certainly one of them. Had an opportunity to talk to a fascinating guy. Everybody probably knows who this person is, but most people have no idea of the depth of his experiences and unbelievable stories that he has. I spoke with Don Garlitz this morning. I visited his museum with a friend last Friday night, and I was blown away by what's out there.
Big Daddy Don Garlitz.
It's not just the museum; it's the garage with all the engines and things that go on for ever. I mean, he's got history of motor racing. Well, beyond that, he's got a whole bunch of other engines.
That NASCAR stuff, IndyCar stuff, all that?
He's got engines from all kind of places.
Really?
Unbelievable engines. He's got a whole row. He's got like every Mercury engine for 15 years, and he's got Ford engines. He's got unbelievable stuff. But that's not, you don't see that. I got the private tour. But that's not even the story of Don Garlitz. And I can't tell you, I'm doing a column on him right now, but I love what he's all about because he has this need for speed. He started as a young kid in a car, wanted his daddy to go faster and faster. And he's gone up to 323 miles an hour. Until his late wife, Pat, said, "That's it. You're done. You will not race these cars at 300 miles an hour, or you'll be sleeping in the cabin."
I just don't see any need to race a car twice as fast as you need the speeds you need to get an airplane off the ground.
But you're not a speed guy.
No, I'm not.
You don't see any need of going down in an alligator den either. So it's just
no need to do
That's
that
how these
whatsoever.
people are wired. Like I said, they're wired differently. Anyway, just a quick thing. We're going to book him on the show. He has a little hearing impairment.
I would love to meet Big Daddy Don Garlitz.
Yeah, he's going to be on the show here soon. And he's got, I just want to share one quick story. He's got a book called Close Calls. Yeah. Now, if I can tell this story without making it go on long detail, picture this. You're leaving Savannah, Georgia.
Right.
You're pulling your drag racer behind you.
Certainly.
The drag racer that you just set the record with in Savannah the night before. Mm-hmm. You're driving down a highway on a dark road on a night along some canals. You have a friend and a friend's 6-year-old son, and you're pulling your drag racer, and there's an engine bolted to the floor behind you.
Right.
And suddenly your axle breaks, and you go off the side, and your car goes nose first in the canal, and you're completely covered up with water. Your friend takes his 6-year-old son, shoves him out the back of the cab as it's going down, throws him so he can swim. His friend gets out, comes back, and goes down in and pulls Don Garlitz out, who is pinned by the engine, which has come up close.
Engine's got him pinned in.
And he pulls him up. Now, this is just not the whole story. And takes him out, and they get out, and they say, well, I guess we got to walk. They walk 15 miles to town to get a wrecker, all right? 15 miles. They get a wrecker. They come back. The wrecker comes up. The wrecker parks across the road to pull up the engine and the dragster.
Right.
He starts pulling it up, and surprisingly, there's not that much damage. It's looking pretty good, except for one thing. In the horizon, Don and his friends see a car coming about 90 miles an hour, head straight.
Oh, no.
The wrecker's across the road. And they're running ahead, and they're waving, stop, stop, stop. Whatever.
Dark.
The driver sees it coming. He releases the brake on the tow truck and starts going backwards with it. The driver of the other car never sees him, comes, boom, sideswipes the wrecker. The wrecker goes off, falls in on top of the dragster, crushes in completely. Everything's buried. Now they got to all walk to town 15 more miles.
Sitting back.
P.S. That racer, which of course he set the record with, had no insurance on that car. Nothing had insurance.
Lost it all.
Lost it all right there. You talk about a story. That's just one of many he's got. So we'll have him on the show.
Wow.
I'm sure he'll tell it a lot better than I did.
Wow. You know what I took from that is they had to walk a long way.
Yeah, that's what you got. Never mind, they almost died. Yeah, so speaking of dying, I mean, we all heard about the Chilean earthquake, 8.2. And, you know, what is going on with these earthquakes? California had 2 last week. Now they have 8.2. Now today, Panama gets a 5.8. I mean, wow. It struck Wednesday off the coast of Panama near Costa Rica. Now it's getting up into Central America, you know?
Right.
I don't know what's happening. You're more of a geologist than I am. The earth is shifting or something. The plates are getting out of whack, and this is just crazy, isn't it? What's going on here?
That's just earthquake. And see, that's something I don't understand. I guess I don't grasp earthquakes because